Hey, what's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and I'm back again to talk to you about another Black television show. This week, we are talking about She the People on Netflix from our good friend, Tyler Perry. And with me, per usual, the biggest Tyler Perry stan in the universe, it's Mari Fourth. Mari, welcome back.
Who? Is
Mari,
there?
Mari, Mari, Mari Fourth?
No,
Knock,
no, no.
knock. Anybody, look, anybody in there? Not
No,
Mari?
no, no, no. There must be a different Mari Fourth. Because you said the biggest Tyler Perry fan, and yeah, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no. We are back. We
yeah.
are black. At
Black again. Black
it.
again, like good times, you know?
Yeah. And boy, do we have something for you today.
Yes. Yes. Today we are going to be talking about the new Netflix original show from Tyler Perry, She the People. But we only watched episode 1 because we want to give you all a chance to go in and watch it as well because it's brand spanking new. And of course, it being this is the foremost coverage on Tyler Perry of any other podcast in the world. We had to
It
be there
is.
on the ground floor. We
We
have covered everything.
we
Yeah.
paid for this
Now
because
you know
what?
he ain't finna pay us. You know this man ain't finna pay us. He'd rather podcast about his own show than pay somebody to do it, as you know, like his writing and every
Very
other
true.
thing. Yeah,
Very true.
like that
He
man in there
won't give
sewing
our black
wigs.
asses a job. This is
Right.
true. Uh,
I just want Tyler. Listen. We should just like you ain't gotta pay us, but at least throw us like a little publicity. Hit us with a retweet or something. Like, damn, can the people at least know that we simpatico. We here.
mhm.
You can do
Yeah,
something.
I mean, we said nice things about some things, and then
There are times.
I actually watched 3 episodes.
Okay, and I watched one. So today we're gonna talk about one, and then we'll probably maybe I'll give like a brief spoiler section and ask Mari what she thinks about the episodes that she watched. She's shaking her head yes if you're listening to this audio only podcast, and so we'll talk about that. But of course, thank you all for being here and listening to us every week on recapkickback.com. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, recapkickback.com/subscribe if you haven't already. And then, of course, come check out our beautiful faces here on YouTube, youtube.com/at Recap Kickback, and follow Recap Kickback on all social media platforms to keep up with what we have going. And this week, Mari, I do have a little Black entertainment news to share. And it's
Yay!
really topical considering we've talked about stuff like this on Recap Kickbacks. Brought to you by the people over at Blex Media, of course. We have
Mhm.
Sinners. If you can't get enough of Sinners, the box office hit is available for pre-order now, including a 4K Steelbook edition. I don't even know what a Steelbook is, Mari. What is that?
No, I was thinking that too. Maybe the case is the case
Oh,
steel
like
or
a
something?
like the steel case
Yeah,
edition.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But look, I'll say this. I ain't bought a movie in a while, right? I just
Mhm.
really feel like at this point we stream everything. I don't know if there's like if steel book means that like they're actually going to give me a physical disc. It does look
Think
like in this
so.
picture.
Looks like
It
it.
looks yeah,
Mhm.
it looks like in this picture it's going to be a disc. I don't know where I would play that
I
disc.
know. I was supposed to say, does PS5s play those?
If you got one with the disc reader, some of them are
Oh,
only
yeah,
digital. Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah. So I kind of want this. Like I don't come across a lot of movies that I want to own anymore, I guess I should say.
Mhm.
Because personally, for one, I don't got a DVD player or a Blu-ray player
Right.
at this point in my life. Everything is streaming. But
Mhm.
for some reason, I do feel drawn to purchase Sinners. You know, like I felt like the
Mhm.
movie really spoke to me. And as you know this, I'm not really a horror kid. That's not really my thing. But it didn't feel like a horror movie. It felt like a really black ass movie, and I deserve to own it. That's how I feel.
Exactly. I feel like I should own it so they can never take it away from me. 'Cause
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mhm. And, like, I bought Renaissance, as a CD.
Hmm.
I have absolutely no CD player, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm not above I'm not above buying physical media, just 'cause you know that you have it, you own it. Like, what I definitely learned from, that the Time Warner acquisition and them snatching, like, some of my favorite TV shows off of the Max app specifically, like,
Hmm.
it is very, very important to invest in physical media nowadays, especially the way it looks like our country is going as well. It's like you gotta own this stuff, because if you don't, they can try and destroy it and act like it never existed.
That's real. Even when we get to the point where, growing up, we watched these movies on VHS or DVD or whatever. And then I don't know, Mari, about maybe like 10, 15 years ago, it became this trend where people would play some scenes out of a movie. And you'd be like, I don't remember that. That wasn't like that in that movie. Or I remember that looking different. And then now you can't even go back and verify. Because you just got to it's like, who you going to trust? This digital copy that you found online, when you know for a fact you watched that VHS forward and backwards, and you know what that scene looked like. To me, it's like, y'all messing with me. Y'all messing with my mind. I gotta have the physical copy so I can prove that y'all like that I remember it correctly. Like Sinbad was never a genie, but like for the people who believe that he was, I bet you wish you had that VHS still.
Sounds like you're talking directly to Disney, who have like scrubbed a lot of stuff, which I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, because like, yes, please get that racist stuff out of your cartoons. That'd be nice.
Yeah. But also, don't you want to be able to prove that they used to do racist stuff? Because white folks like to act like racism don't exist. They're like, what are you talking about? We're past. I'm like, no, that was in our children's movie. Like, that's preposterous. It was not in your children's movie. I'm like,
true.
It was. There was literally a crow called Jim Crow in Dumbo. Like, Jim Crow. And he was black as hell. Like, but I'm tripping. But I'm the crazy one. I don't know. Yeah. So I feel like you have to preserve this physical media. I also saw a clip from the new Lilo and Stitch live action movie. Were you ever a big fan of Lilo and Stitch the movie?
So I wasn't, even though I lived in Hawaii and all that.
Right.
But like, my son would, when he was younger, when I tell you, he would just loop Lilo and Stitch, loop it. And so now I like know it like the back of my hand. That first like 20 minutes is perfection. So I would always like stop and watch that part, but the rest of it, I'm just like, this is the millionth time we've watched this. So I don't want to watch it again in reality or whatever.
In live action. So
yes.
They've been complaining a lot. First of all, people complain about live action every time we get it. Okay, y'all. I know y'all tired. We
can't keep having this discussion.
We can't keep doing this. But I did see something that they changed in the Lilo and Stitch live action movie that I don't know if I can allow that to happen. Lilo and Stitch famously is known for the scene where she, Ohana means family. That's like their whole thing.
Ohana means family. Yes.
Oh, so there's the moment where Lilo was talking to her older sister and they're arguing. She's like, they left us behind. And she's like, that kind of thing. And she's like, Ohana means family. Like, we can't turn in Stitch or whatever. They took that out the movie. The scene,
why?
The line Ohana means family from Lilo to her big sister is not in the film, not in that scene.
Why?
I don't know.
Ohana means family. They're in Hawaii.
I mean, maybe Stitch will say it at some point, but she does not say it in that scene.
I also heard like the sister like went off to college without her or something like that too. Like people were big mad. Like she would never leave Lilo.
Right. I see. So I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, but I did see the clip where Ohana means family is omitted from that scene. And so I thought like,
that's the big moment. That's like the big moment of the movie.
It sets the tone. It's like the whole point is that like we taught Stitch this too. We're family. We ain't gonna turn our backs on each other. And for some reason, that just is that line is different in the movie. So go get physical copies of your media if you think the people, the man, is gonna change it behind your back. Also, I don't think there's anything wrong with collecting things like that either. People collect the vinyls.
Yeah, that's true.
I would love to collect the vinyl, but I feel like if I collect vinyls, I gotta be able to play the vinyl. Like I'm not one of those. Like, sure, you can collect it and keep it in a stack, but for me, the way I feel about music, I'm gonna need the record player to play. And then every time I go to buy one, Mari, it's never the record player I want, because you get you go back and get an old record player and it would do what you needed to do. But these newfangled record players got Blu-ray technology and they play all kinds of stuff. Like they do so much cool stuff. They use Bluetooth and you do airdrop it. All that cool stuff. Like
my best friend collects vinyls, so I always get her something. whenever.
That's what I'm saying. It's an easy. It's not the cheapest hobby, but it's also not the most expensive. So maybe I'll go and start collecting steel books to keep up with Ryan Coogler and all the stuff he gave us. Because Mari, look, Ryan Coogler became one of the top 25 highest grossing directors with the fewest films on the list. So yeah. So I was taking a look at the list because I wanted to know like who else is on here, right? And it says that of everyone in the top 25, Coogler has directed the fewest films, yet his per film domestic average sits at 305 million, which places him as having the second highest average, just behind J.J. Abrams. And so
second highest average?
Yeah, just behind J.J.
So he's technically number 2 on this list?
Of having the average amount. Yes.
Okay. Average.
Yes, the average for the amount of films that he's done. Now, there are other people on the list who have more money, but it's not like on average because they have more films. So, for instance, Ryan Coogler's directorial resume includes Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther 2, and Sinners as some of his big ones. And then there's also only 2 Black directors to ever cross $1 billion in the box office. And guess who the other one is?
Spike?
No, I'll give you one more guess.
Oh, God. Okay.
He's your favorite director.
Oh, God damn it. Tyler Perry.
TP! Yeah, my boy. My boy TP is the other director who was crossed the $1 billion domestic.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He ranks number 57 on that list, but he has 32 films to speak of. Other black directors on that film.
It's almost like he shoots them in 4 days or something.
I mean, it's efficient, okay? It's efficient to say the least. So yes, Ryan Coogler out here breaking records. To think, people really tried to play in this man's face and be like, oh, well, this Sinners release isn't that great. I was like, actually,
Variety will never live that shit down.
They will never.
To their grave, I'm gonna be on Variety's neck. Every time they come out with something, I'm gonna be like, but what Ryan Coogler though?
Right, but what about what you had said about Sinners? What about that part? I need more information. That poor social media person that got fired.
But is it the social media person? Wasn't that the headline of the article?
I didn't read that shit. I saw that. I saw that tweet. It was like, get out my face. Exactly. I don't let that negativity in my life.
And then they're talking about how they compared it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like the next like original, like last original Hollywood movie by a director or whatever. That had like about the same budget and all of that. Like and that was by Tarantino, and they actually opened up to technically a worse week, and I think they opened up to like $40 million box office with more theaters. They only put in 40 million. All of that, everything was like comparative, and Variety was like basically like a great start for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like after. Yeah, the reporting was completely different. Like people were pulling, like look it up. People were comparing the Variety articles about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus Sinners, when everything about both of those movies are comparable.
And then if you really think about it, everybody wanted to see Sinners in IMAX, and they were snatching it out of IMAX so quickly because the damn Disney movie showed up. Thunderbolts showed up and had a bunch of those IMAX seats taken. And so for a minute, you couldn't even see Sinners in IMAX. And so people were waiting.
When he shot it in IMAX, you could only watch it how it was intended to be watched in 9 theaters. Like 3 of them were in LA, 3 of them were in New York, and like the rest were just random as hell places.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Thunderbolts come along, and then it's taken out of IMAX, and it's just like he was basically set up to fail, and he still persisted
because it was so good. Speaking of Wakanda, Eyes of Wakanda, Disney Plus drops the first look at the animated Black Panther series. Now, I don't know how much Ryan is going to make because I believe he is on board as a producer for this, but it will be starting in August 6th and features the voices of Cress Williams, Winnie Harlow, and Anika Noni Rose in this role.
Cress Williams, Scooter.
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, Scooter from the I was about to say from Black Lightning, but from
Living Single.
Living, there you go. Thank you. I was like, yeah, Living Single. Yeah. Chris Williams is back. So yeah, so more Ryan Coogler. This is a very Ryan Coogler week for a recap kickback, but I'm okay with that. I never watched. Yeah, I was like, I had kind of moved away from the Disney Plus TV drops.
Me too.
Y'all had us watching too much stuff. Y'all must, and it wasn't making its way into the movies like I thought. Like I thought I had to watch everything to know. Like I remember watching Moon Knight and thinking, "Oh, that's gonna be so cool when Moon Knight show up in these movies," and I have not seen him. Yeah,
that and it, like me and James were just talking about it. Like Last of Us finale this week. The next season of Last of Us isn't coming out till 2027. Like I'm fucking over. I'm sorry, but I'm over streaming, and they're freaking 3-year wait time to get another series. We talked about this when we talked about how Forever season 2 is coming. Like I don't want to wait 2 to 3 years for another season of 8 episodes for something. Like this is stupid.
No,
I feel sorry for kids. Kids don't understand what it's like to like watch a show for 22 episodes a season every week on cable. Like twice a year.
No, they don't. Because even when Ironheart, our upcoming MCU television show that's coming to streaming, that's going to be following Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams and Ironheart, we're going to get a Black Marvel girl in an original character, and what they're going to do is drop the first 3 episodes on June 24th, and then the last 3 episodes are going to drop weekly. So it's only going to be out for 4 weeks, basically, before it's old. They're going to drop 3, 4, 5, and 6 in that order. It's like, hey, let people enjoy things. Let it, a weekly drop is nice to come back to. Like, this show is going to be a blip on the radar because it's going to be dropped within seconds. People are going to binge it, and then they're going to stop talking about it like we do so many other films. So I agree with you. There's something about the appointment viewing, and you having to be there in the moment to enjoy the water cooler conversation. That's a part of watching TV to me. It builds community, Mari, and I'm looking for that. When the new Game of Thrones things come out. When is that happening?
June. I said it all right. June 6th, I believe.
Because I haven't seen nothing. Have you seen any trailers?
No. I talked about it on this very June 15th. June 5th.
Maybe that's 2. We're not gonna drop a little trailer or nothing. We're not gonna. Maybe we tripping. If you've seen the trailer, put it in the comments, because I haven't seen it yet. Mari and I definitely plan on talking about it. Hopefully people will be there to watch it, considering I ain't heard nobody. I ain't seen nothing.
I ain't heard a thing.
Ain't nobody told me nothing. So don't know what's going on.
Oh, wait. Oh, I think they pushed it back.
Oh, see, there we go. I knew something was up because there has been nothing, no talk about this.
Looks like they pushed it back.
Maybe then we the ones who wrong, because they are definitely not about to drop that thing.
No, because there's a whole premiere list, like June 15th, like 2025, all of this stuff. But now I just saw fucking Variety. I just saw Variety just from 2 weeks ago. So it had to just happen, because I know for a fact we were talking about how Game of Thrones fans will have to wait a while longer to head back to Westeros, as the premiere of the new spin-off series, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, has now been slated for 2026.
Ooh.
Wow.
You was just saying
I hate what. Then when is House of the Dragon coming back?
Oh, that just got pushed back. Don't even play. They pushed that bad boy back. They ain't gonna say nothing. They trying to distract you with this other thing because they did push back House of the Dragon 2 on the low. That's what's happening. Yeah, the look of disgust.
Oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God.
Yeah. But luckily for us, we have, yeah, luckily for us, we got other Black content coming. FKA Twigs is going to be portraying um, Josephine Baker in the biopic, I believe. Um, yeah, I am very interested to see how this looks. You know, I love a good biopic. We've talked about
Yeah.
so many here on Recap Kickback. And we also recently talked about Josephine Baker because when we were talking about the dandyism, her name came up
Right.
as very topical as well. So very
Mhm.
excited to see what this looks like. Baker, obviously a trailblazer, was the first Black woman to star in a major motion picture in Siren of the
Mhm.
Tropics, which we did talk about one time in that one Fade to Black, I think it was called. I'm gonna just keep making the
Yeah.
name of that thing up that we watched.
Black Hollywood Black.
Hollywood Black. Hollywood Black.
Hollywood
That's
Black.
what it was called.
There you go.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so there's that. And I believe Ruth Nega and Janelle Monáe were previously attached to other adaptations of a Josephine Baker project. So probably more of that to come. I also heard that they pushed back the Michael Jackson documentary a little bit, though the biopic. I think they're gonna divide it into I think it's divided into 3 parts now.
Seriously?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they're trying to make 3 separate films. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a
Thriller,
mess.
Allegations 1, Allegations 2?
Not allegations 1 and 2. Stop it. Stop it. No. No. We're not doing that. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I've been hearing that they've been making some changes to how they're going to do that biopic. It's called Michael, and it is still scheduled to drop in 2026. I thought it was going to be dropping in 2025, but it does seem like they're pushing it back as
This is
well,
just all
if
push.
not
This is
already.
pissing me off. Can we? The news is pissing me off. The entertainment news is pissing me off. The
Yeah, give us
the
things.
actual news and the entertainment news are all pissing.
Well, look, let's talk about something a little bit more lighthearted that we did get today. We got to watch She the People on
Yes.
Netflix. Tyler Perry's She the People. And thanks to the people over at Screen Rant, I have a nice character guide to talk about Tyler Perry's She the People as well. So thank you for all of them. She the People will follow Antoinette Dunkerson, aka Terri J. Vaughn, aka Levita Alizé Jenkins, as the
Mhm.
first Black Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi. She will be campaigning, balancing her life, and dealing with racism and sexism and all those good stuff. But you know, laced in comedy, as Tyler Perry is, you know, known to do sometimes. And so She the People will join a long list of Tyler Perry movies on Netflix. We've talked about before. Obviously, he has a big contract with Netflix, and I don't know, that people probably like owe him money. Like there's something like he got something on the people.
He got pictures.
He got something.
That's for
Tyler Perry
sure.
he know where the bodies are buried. And so
Yeah.
now we get She the People season 1. Now I watched episode 1 and you watched episode 1 through 3. Mari, overall, what did you think about She the People as a show?
Okay.
Okay.
Overall,
Okay.
like the episodes were like what, 30 minutes or so?
Maybe like 26 minutes.
Maybe 20.
Quick
Yeah.
in and out. Mm-hmm.
Right. That was honestly one of the only reasons. That was one of the reasons why I watched 3 episodes, because I was just like, after the first episode, I was like, okay. And I was like, well, let me just see the setup. Episode 2, I was like, okay. All right. And then by like 3, I was just like, well, I ain't got shit else to do.
Right. Well, let me go ahead and see what's about to happen. Yeah.
And then by 3, I was like, okay, I get the gist. Like I normally on all new shows that I do, like I watch or want to watch, I always try and watch 3 episodes, because I feel like we call it in my house the rule of 3. Like we always give like new stuff 3 episodes to try and prove itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just I just don't think it's my brand of humor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's that fish out of water, Beverly Hillbillies style humor.
Yeah.
You know,
what country mouse in the big city type thing. Like, oh, look around, like, yeah, like I'm new here and here's how I do things. It's unorthodox, but like it works. You know, I think that's what we get at least in episode 1. You know, there's like the things that are not supposed to work for this person, the isms and things that would go against her are the things that make her endearing as someone who is running for office. And so we'll see a lot of things go wrong, and then probably a lot of things go right throughout the episodes. Except for, I mean, like I said, I saw that in episode 1. Now I don't know if things develop and change very quickly, but that's kind of the vibe I got.
No, that's about it. And like literally the next 2 episodes is like, haha, look at these situations that we're putting her and her family in that they're not used to because they're black.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Blackity black. Yeah.
They're
Like
black
we will get,
and they're in all these like white situations. Like, I don't know, like country, like, yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Embarrassing us in front of our people, like that's the feel. I love it too, because that's definitely my brand of like existing, is just like, how do I be in this space and then make people feel uncomfortable with me being me? And I know Tyler Perry, he likes that vibe too. Is like, I'm here now, you got to deal with it. Medea's wearing a wig, what you about to do about it? And so I'm not shocked that that's kind of the direction he went here, which is they black, and we gonna see how black folks react to being in a predominantly white space, especially one like being in the governor's office. And so it dropped on May 22nd, so it's been out a few days, so hopefully people have gone and watched it. And like I said, it is co-created, of course, by Tyler Perry and Naya Palmer. It's also I think you have Keisha Lance Bottoms and Terri J Vaughn also are like executive producers. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on, but I want to talk about it a little bit mostly because of the cast. So Terri J Vaughn as our Lieutenant Governor, Antoinette Dunkerson. When I see her, I see the Steve Harvey Show. Yeah, like how can you not? It was 1997, and that stuck with me forever.
Yeah, I mean, she's an icon. She is like, she's just an icon for like black women everywhere who just are like unapologetically themselves, like no matter what the space is. She was like loved unconditionally on screen, her and Seti, and it was just like, she just was such a pivotal character in like black culture and a black staple. And it was just so unfortunate that like after the Steve Harvey Show, it's like she didn't get much to do after that.
She was doing stuff, but it just felt like that was one of those iconic roles that'll never leave her. I remember her. Yeah, like she never really outgrew that to me. She was always Lavita Alizé Jenkins. She was also, she was China in Friday, so that's fun. She popped out in All of Us for a while as well, and then I think she was in Meet the Browns. So this isn't her first time rolling with TP, but here she's Antoinette, and she's running for and is elected as the first black woman to serve as Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi. Once she gets the job, she has to handle the racism from the white governor and the antics from her family. Now, when we talk about her family, we have to talk about her mama, Cleo Dunkerson, a.k.a. Jo Marie Payton, a.k.a. Harriet Baines Winslow. Now, Mari, why they got Mrs. Winslow, or Miss Winslow, I will say, in here acting a fool?
This isn't Harriet. This isn't Miss Winslow. This is Sugar Mama. This is literally Sugar Mama from the Proud Family.
This is Madea.
She was literally just the loud avatar that Tyler Perry could spew his boomerisms through, to be quite honest. Like, love Jo Marie Payton. She is hilarious. Her voice cracks me up, but literally when she's yelling at the top of her lungs every 2 seconds, just beat that child. I'm like, I can't get behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what's with kids these days? All they do is talk back. You need to hit her upside the head. Just punch her. Like every 2 seconds. I was like, wow. Like it's very interesting. All of this parenting advice coming from, a writer director who did not have kids.
Tyler Perry got a kid.
Do we?
Yeah, Tyler Perry got a son.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
What? It's unfortunate that he has a child. Dang, Mari, what you got against kids?
If his parenting style is like Jo Marie or Madea with her gun and her belt, then it's unfortunate.
It's definitely outdated for sure. Like we can't move like this no more, y'all. We cannot. But she is, yeah, you're right. She is like speaking as the person who's like talking for like the older generation, very much the like
Exactly.
spare the rod, spoil the child generation. They were like they was using the rod, okay? That was their thing, okay? That was their parenting tip. And it's always fascinating to me because I'm always like, it really didn't do nothing for the crime rates. Like it's not like y'all was out here beating the kids, and thus the '90s was a time of peace and tranquility. Like, yeah, y'all beating
Exactly.
kids, and they still ended up in jail. Not to say that it was all their fault, but we don't have no data to support that these ass whoopings was helping. Like punching your kid in the face just cannot be beneficial in the long term.
And yet we do have data that like a different style of parenting can actually make all the difference. So it's and that's always the thing too, and I always talk about it on here, but it's like when you have this contrasting view of this of like Joe Marie Payton be like, just hit her. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And you have Antoinette on here where Antoinette is not hitting her, but she's not providing boundaries. She's
Mm-hmm.
not like this is what people think about when people tell you I don't hit my kids. They just think that that means you can let the kid walk all over you, all
They
this
run
stuff.
wild.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they don't listen and stuff like this. Like it's just so like stereotypical. It's not again that true like positive discipline parenting or conscious parenting or anything like that. But it's what people think that all is.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely is not a great look in this first episode. So we have Antoinette. She's running for office, as I've outlined, and we see her at the very beginning getting interviewed on the news about running, and immediately we catch the microaggressions. Right, we're catching her being told like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I heard you're from the South Side, and the community is not the
Mhm.
nicest." And of course, we go to see that obviously the community is not the nicest. Like these things are microaggressions, but they're also true. And so, um, another thing that we will learn is that Joe Marie Payton's character, Auntie Grandma, I believe,
Auntie grandma.
and Auntie Grandma, she she is not a lady of great integrity. She is a little ratchet. Granny is a little ratchet, and the entire world knows it.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's a little bit different. At least she's not like a church lady. Like she is like the anti-church lady. Like at one
Mm-hmm.
point they said when she said when her mom would drive by the church, she would flip the church.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
She she told the people at the church because she needed their vote. She told them at the church, when me and my mom used to come by here, and they raised their hand like, "Ma'am, your mama didn't come by here." She's like, "Well, I mean, we drove by.
We
We didn't
drove
we ain't
by.
stopped.
And
She
then
drove
somebody in the
by."
back was like, and she would flip us the bird when she would drive by.
Yeah. Auntie Grandma was not having it. She's smoking weed, eating weed, going to the strip club to get votes, and because you gotta get the hoes to the polls, as she said.
She did say
And
that.
yeah, and her mom is concerned that the politics of this whole running for office thing will take the hood out of Antoinette. She doesn't want her to lose sight of who she really is just because she's going for this new fancy office. I think there's a message there, Mari.
Yeah, be yourself, but it's
Kind of.
like
Yeah,
it's like anti-respectability politics, I guess.
a
But that's
little
kind of
bit.
weird in politics, though. You know,
Yeah, like the
it's
whole
like
point of politics. But yeah,
yeah,
because it's literally a game built on white supremacy. So it's kind of like
mhm,
because of that, like you have to play the game in order to win. Like you can't just opt out.
right,
You
exactly.
could try. We've seen that people try and then they get left behind and don't get any votes.
Mhm,
But like generally speaking, you have to be agreeable enough to where you can swing some people to vote for you that wouldn't normally vote for you, and then you don't want to alienate anybody. So it is largely about respectability, but I think the message is still clear. Like, can Antoinette do this job without losing sight of who she really is?
right.
And she has some colorful characters surrounding her who she might want to keep at bay. We meet Shamika, who is her assistant and her cousin.
Yes, I believe yes, her cousin.
Yeah, so Shamika is
Uh,
played by Jade Novah, and
yeah.
she's primarily known as a singer. She's won an NAACP Image Award,
Do you
and
see
she's
that?
had. Hmm?
Her name is Shamika Latavia Latoya Farah Dunkerson.
Oh, she named us Destiny's Child?
She named after the Destiny's Child folk that didn't make the cut.
Not Latavia, Latoya, and Farah. No. Well, look,
that is a mess.
This actress was born in 1986, according to this article on Screen Rant. So she's actually a little too old to be named after those women because they were about the same age. But yes, she was in. She played Beyonce in 30 Days to Life, whatever that is.
Yeah, fast Google.
Right, quick Google search. I'm looking and I see nothing. But yeah, so maybe there's something there.
Got a reality show? Like, what is?
I'm looking now. 30 Days to Life. It looks like we don't have any photos or quotes yet from IMDb. But yeah, so I'd never seen her before, but her character is very funny. I appreciate her as, I appreciate her as kind of like being, I won't say the comedic relief, but she's another one of the wacky characters who's around Antoinette, who's I guess supposed to be more like our straight man, right? Like she's the guy, some person who's trying to keep things together while people like Shamika and Auntie Granny are like falling apart. She's also dating the driver, and the driver, this is why you don't hire people that, this is why you don't hire family members and friends, right? Like you just want if you're running for office, you need some trusted people who actually care about their paycheck and who's not doing this because they members of the family. So we have Dyon Brooks as, is it Basil or Basil?
Basil. They're calling Basil the whole time.
Like the spice.
Like the spice, yeah. Like the herb.
On the Proud Family, that little boy's name, Dijonay brother was named Basil. He also was British. Yeah, well, all her relatives were named after spices. Remember paprika and them? Yeah. But Basil was there too. So this Basil, I mean, he's just bad for business in general. One thing about him, he's just gonna blow up everything.
Is Dyon Brooks like a comedian or something? I'm looking it up now because like it felt like 90% of the stuff that he said was like
freestyle.
Like improv. Mm-hmm. And like it's just, for me, it was just a lot. Like it was kind of like a stepping stone of like Shamika's right here, she's this outrageous. Then Auntie Grandma is this outrageous. And then he is just through the moon outrageous. And it's just all three of them being that outrageous around each other. And Antoinette being the only straight man. It just was like too much for me.
Yeah. So he is known by his stage name, Mojo Brooks. And he's been touring around the country for his comedy special, I Know You Fucking Lying. He also had been on season 21 of Wild 'N Out. It's crazy that Wild 'N Out has gone over 21 seasons. Like that's insane. But yeah, so he's very much a comedian, and it looks like he also has an Emmy Award.
It said he was in Freaknik. It says he was in Freaknik.
Oh, in Freaknik? The cartoon? Yeah,
the documentary.
The documentary? Oh, see, it's been so long since we touched that. You're okay. Yeah, maybe we got to revisit that. So yeah, Dyon Brooks is here as Basil, and he is the driver who is going to be adding to the foolishness, as you pointed out. We also meet Antoinette's baby daddy / ex-husband. He's going to come over, and we can already tell he's a source of drama. Shamika doesn't like him because he cheated, and because he's just not reliable. And so we will see Antoinette trying to use her baby daddy in a way to take some of the pressure off of her. As a single mom who's running for office, you would think he would be able to take care of his kids and make sure they don't get in trouble and ruin her campaign. But alas, he cannot.
Not even for 2 seconds.
No. He ends up dropping his daughter off at her homegirl's house, and then she ends up at a party. Now, her daughter's name is Lola. Lola asks, I know we talked about gentle parenting, but she's at that age where
I want to her head. I'm like, this is how bad this writing is that even I am like, if you don't shut your mouth, like,
Yeah, she wanted to get
Sorry,
snatched.
continue. She
No,
did.
no, we on the same page because she's at the age where, and I guess teenagers
She
will
was
hit this
16.
age sometimes. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's 16 and she has decided that her parents are the least cool people in the world, especially her mom, because now she has attention on her because her mom's running for lieutenant governor or whatever, and so she hates them. She hates everything about them. Everything y'all do, y'all are losers. Y'all are dumb. And so she's very much in the bratty teenage stage of life. She will sneak off to go ride in a sports car with her boyfriend to a party. Now, if you think I was upset about Lola, when the boyfriend shows up and he decides to step in front of the confrontation, Laurie, I would have been in jail, Mari. I would have been in jail. That would have been the day. That'd have been it.
And Antoinette did what needed to be done because when that little boy stepped in front of her daughter, I was like, "Oh, I'm catching it. I'm catching a case. I'm
Yep.
catching a case because what do you mean my daughter's about to go live with you? She's 16, sir. Something tells me
Yeah.
you are in that age bracket, and
Yeah.
that's kidnapping. And also, boom, you gone. Like what
Yeah.
is happening? What is happening right now?"
Yeah. Antoinette is off at the church campaigning for votes, and that's when and trying to prove to the church that her mom is a wholesome lady who actually has been in the building. And that's when the church folks start getting a notification that the
Daughter.
I guess the daughter of the person running for lieutenant governor is twerking at the party. So they all pull up.
How did they
And
all get?
they all got the notification. It's
I know,
it's
like,
headline news.
who did he tag in this video that the church folk
Everybody.
did?
TMZ clearly because everybody got it. It's on Media Takeout and all the pages. The Shade Room got it.
The shade room got it. That's what it was.
Yeah. So they make their way over to the party. Sexy Red is playing in the background, and
It was.
if that's on jam, I don't care. And so then Antoinette grabs the microphone and calls for her daughter. Now, this is embarrassing, yes. But what her daughter does next is the most embarrassing thing in the world because her daughter says, I'm not coming with you. I'm gonna go live with this boy. And he's like, yeah, she living with me. And he didn't say it like, oh, like we love each other and we're gonna go start a family. Like he stood up like his whole chest popped out. She ain't going nowhere with you. I don't care if you are her mama. She's coming to live with me. At this point, Antoinette had a decision to make, Mari.
And then the decision was made. That was the right
Yeah.
one. Don't hit your kid, but hit other people's kids. I'm fine with
She
that.
punched that boy in the nose. She punched him in the
I
nose.
condone that. Yeah.
On camera. On camera. They live on Instagram and all other social media platforms. And this lady is running for lieutenant governor, and she just hit.
It's the night of the election.
Yeah. The day of.
Which you know what? Nope. I'm not even gonna get into it. Let's go. It is the day of the election, even though it's nighttime and people are at a party and the polls are still open.
I mean, it's just the lieutenant governor race. They don't care. These people not caring. Ain't nobody mentioned the president at all. Like they ain't said nothing about no big election. They're like, it's the lieutenant governor. Who cares? So she punched the kid in the face. It's on camera, and you would be led to believe that this is the end of the road for Antoinette and her political future. The little girl, Vicky, she's 18. She comes over. I say little girl, but this girl, Vicky, shows up, and this is her party. And she tells her, you need to leave anyway, because this is for 18-year-olds, and you're about 70-ish. And Antoinette responds, go take your dope head ass and sit down somewhere. And I actually laughed. I'm not going to lie to you. I pretty much enjoyed that. But that was the biggest laugh I got of the episode because the rest of the episode is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The video of her punching the boy went viral, and now she's questioning everything. They get to the campaign office, and her baby daddy is there apologizing, but apologizing is too late. Lola apologizes, but none of it matters because the people on TV have seen the footage, and they're okay with it. People are coming out in droves to vote for Antoinette. Yeah, she reached a very specific target demographic, Mari.
Yeah, everybody who saw that boy needed to get his face punched in. That would have probably got me too. But I'm if I wasn't voting, if I hadn't voted by then, it wasn't gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
we early vote around here, baby.
they ran to the polls. They saw that boy get punched in the face and said, let me put my shoes on. And they went to go vote for Antoinette Dunkerson. Because I think one of the women says, I have a teenage son. And so, yeah, sometimes I want to punch his ass in the face. The strippers come out to vote as well.
Yep.
And by the end of the episode 1, we have a new lieutenant governor. And so
Yeah.
now the stage is set for more shenanigans, more fun, jokes, all that good stuff as we watch her navigate. Yeah, as we watch her navigate being the lieutenant governor. So She the People, episode 1. That's it.
And she only probably needed like 30 people to come out. Like those, like you said, lieutenant governor race. If the turnout is so low for the presidency, you know that turnover is very low for this. It's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure Virginia right now we're electing our lieutenant governor as well. So it's just like, yeah, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense that like this could happen like this, but also the episode was okay. It was okay. It'll be for certain people. It won't be for me. I had to keep watching for the second episode to see like we meet the governor.
Okay.
And we find out the whole setup of the governor, clearly a white man. He's from a different party. And he basically, yeah, like in their state in Mississippi, apparently, like when you do the elections, you can actually end up with 2 separate parties, apparently. And basically the governor's like, you're just here just in case I die. So don't think you're actually going to be doing anything. And she's like, but I want to do things. He's like, nope, you don't have to. So it's just going to be like a push and pull at work. They're already trying to like make her replace her whole staff with all white people, basically. It's just like, it literally is. Her family comes to the Capitol, and of course they're like making big scenes and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's run of the mill. And like you said, like I didn't get a lot of big laughs out of it. I think I truly know I laughed more watching Beauty and Black than I did watching this.
Well, Beauty and Black is comedic genius, okay? And people just aren't giving it enough. I will say that much. And we do have season 2 coming soon, I'm sure. But yeah, She the People. We have to go and watch it and support our Black actors and Black and I guess Tyler Perry films. Otherwise, they won't keep getting roles. Well, Tyler Perry gonna keep doing what he's doing. But in order to make sure these Black folks are getting their due, go check it out. Check out She the People and let us know what you think about it here in the comments here on Recap Kickback on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@RecapKickback. Let us know if you plan on watching more of it and how it ends.
And I have to say this because it was annoying me, and I was like, just let it go. But I'm not. The son, his like wardrobe is like, oh, he's the nerd. He has a sweater tied around.
He's wearing glasses.
He has a sweater vest. It's like, oh my god, are we like in an 80s sitcom? Like, go to Beyond the Gates is doing amazing right now. They know how to dress 2 16-year-olds in a soap opera with proper like knowing that they're nerds, and they use like the proper slang and everything. Like it's just done so well in comparison. I was just like, nobody wears slacks like that anymore. Like, what are we doing? Is he Urkel?
I think it's like a Urkel Carlton mix. Maybe, he had the sweater tied around his neck. I don't know. We'll have to check it out and see if there's more from She the People moving forward. But that's it. That's our She the People quick recap. If you want to go check it out, of course, it's on Netflix. And then, of course, you can let us know what you think here. Also, go check out. Yeah, and then go check out other Netflix stuff as well. Scandal is coming to Netflix in
wasn't it already on Netflix?
I think.
Did they take it off?
I think it's not. I don't think it was on there. Or if it was, it was on there a long time ago. And so it's coming back. They're dropping a whole series on Netflix in June. Okay. Yeah. And so I'll probably talk about it on Nothing But Netflix just to be like, in case you missed Scandal. But hopefully y'all didn't miss Scandal. Scandal was really good. So,
and what made it better was watching it with everybody.
It was so much fun. We had our watch parties on Twitter. I'm surprised we didn't come across each other.
That's literally how I started my first Twitter.
yeah, had to go on there to talk about Scandal. So yeah,
Mhm.
maybe people will be talking about She the People. Who knows? But Mari, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on in the meantime.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much on Blue Sky, 2 like the number 2. That's the only place I'm at. I am no longer on the health site. You can also find me on the crime scene podcast. You can go to crimescenepod.com. That's SEEN. This past week, me and Sarah we talked we talked to Toby Ball about every time about
You don't never know what y'all be
Fred
watching on
and
Constantine.
no, I do. Fred and Rose West, a British horror story. It is on Netflix. It's on Netflix. It is Fred and Rose West, a British horror story. We had drastically differing opinions about this docu-series. It's 3-part docu-series. Like me, Sarah, and our guest Toby. So that is a very good episode of Crime Scene to go listen to, because the conversation was like we were really trying to see each other's sides of perspectives about what we thought about the docuseries. So go check that out. And you can follow us at Crime Scene Pod on Blue Sky as well. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it for me.
Okay. And then, of course, here on Nothing But Netflix, or Recap Kickback, I'm sorry, we have our continuation from Nothing But Netflix, Pop the Balloon Live. For some reason, they're still dropping
going.
episodes.
Yeah.
And so Chantel and I are here every week to talk about it. Check out our recap of episode 7, and then stay tuned for our recap of episode 8, as it is continuing this week. But Mari, I've been teasing that once Pop the Balloon Live is over, we're going to start talking about Flavor of Love. But I can't get Pop the Balloon Live to end. So, one day we might talk about the Flavor of Love. And I'm going to see if a lot of the podcasters and people in our community want to come and talk to me about it. And so stay tuned. Tell your friends if they like Flavor of Love that we're going to do a nice little recap here on Recap Kickback, at least until I get tired of talking about the universe. Or if y'all start to pay, so maybe we'll start a Patreon or something. Who knows? But right now, it's looking like when Pop the Balloon Live ends, we'll bring you some of that over to Recap Kickback. Also, if you didn't check out our coverage of Forever, what are you waiting on? Go back and watch Forever, and then check out our coverage over these last 2 weeks here on Recap Kickback with Shamika from Entertainment in Color. It was such a good time. And then if you want to catch my other works, catch me on the Nothing But Netflix podcast talking about Sneaky Links with Sasha. We should drop our season review tomorrow or soon. This week it will drop.
I'm watching that. I had to get my thoughts out on Blue Sky. Yeah, I had to keep.
I saw your thread, but you were ahead of me, and so I didn't want to read it and get spoiled. But we will be recording soon to talk about that, and then we'll have to stay tuned to see what else is coming on the Nothing But Netflix podcast. And I think that's it. Yeah, catch me on RHAP talking about Survivor. The Survivor 50 cast is probably out by the time you hear this podcast. And so I'm sure you're going to see that I have a lot to say. Check out Club Condo, where we talk about Survivor. And then Rob and I are also going to talk about maybe some snubs, maybe some cast members who should have gotten casted on Survivor, or cast for, you linguists out there, on Survivor 50, including maybe the boss man himself, Rob Sesser, who knows. So check that out. And of course, subscribe to the podcast, recapkickback.com/subscribe, youtube.com/@recapkickback. But that's it. Mari, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. For Mari and for myself, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace. I've been trapped behind this wall, Maria. Isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreamers. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.